The auction hall was larger than any city square. Its ceiling curved like a metal sky, filled with floating lights that never blinked. Long rows of seats circled the floor, where cages stood in neat lines. Every cage held a living being. Some were small and shaking. Some were tall and silent. The air smelled of fear, oil, and old money. Traders from many worlds filled the seats. Their voices mixed into a low, greedy sound. They came for labor, fighters, servants, and trophies. They came because this place allowed things that polite worlds pretended did not exist. At the far end of the floor stood a single cage, larger and thicker than the rest. The bars were dark and heavy, marked with old burns and deep scratches. Inside stood a lone alien woman. She was tall, taller than most guards. Her skin was dark gray, rough like stone. Old scars crossed her arms and face. One horn was broken, the other chipped. A heavy collar rested on her neck, glowing faintly. She did not sit. She did not beg. She stood still, eyes forward, breathing slow. Chains lay loose at her feet, already bent from earlier fights. Whispers followed her cage wherever the lights moved. That one is cursed. That one killed 3 owners. That one cannot be controlled. The auction master stepped forward. He was small, wrapped in shining cloth, his voice boosted by speakers. "Next item," he announced, trying to sound confident. "A proven combat asset. High strength, high endurance, resistant to pain." He paused, then added quickly, "Previous incidents were due to improper handling." The alien woman did not react. She had heard lies like that before. The lights focused on her cage. Screens above showed her fighting in old pits. She moved like a storm, fast and brutal. Opponents fell. Blood covered the sand. Cheers echoed in the recordings. The auction master raised a hand. "Opening bid begins now." Silence. Buyers shifted in their seats. Some leaned back. Others looked away. Few laughed nervously. No one spoke. The alien woman felt something tighten in her chest. Not fear. Something colder. Being unwanted was worse than pain. At least pain meant value. The auction master cleared his throat. Surely someone sees the worth here. A living weapon. Still nothing. A buyer in the front row hissed, "Too risky." Another muttered, "Costs more to keep alive than she earns." Time stretched. The auction master lowered his voice. Final chance. The alien woman closed her eyes for a brief moment. She had seen what happened to those who did not sell. Disposal. Testing. Worse. Then a sound broke the silence. "I bid." The voice was clear, calm, and wrong. Every head turned. The sound came from a human. He sat alone in a simple seat near the middle rows. No guards flanked him. No rich colors marked his clothes. He looked small compared to others, soft even. Brown hair, tired eyes, steady hands. The hall erupted into noise. "A human? Is he insane? Does he know what that thing is?" The auction master stared. "You wish to place a bid?" "Yes," the human said. He raised his hand again so there was no mistake. The alien woman opened her eyes and looked at him. Humans were rare here. They usually stayed far from places like this. She had never fought one. She had never been owned by one. The auction master hesitated. "Do you understand the risks?" "I do," the human replied. A wealthy buyer laughed. "You will be dead before the contract ends." The human did not answer him. He kept his eyes on the cage. The auction master named a price low and cautious. Opening accepted. No one challenged it. The silence returned, heavier than before. "Sold," the auction master said quickly, almost relieved. The hammer struck. The alien woman stiffened. The collar on her neck pulsed once, then dimmed. Ownership transferred. Guards approached her cage with weapons raised. The human stood. He walked down the steps alone. Each step echoed. Many eyes followed him, waiting for blood. When he reached the cage, he stopped a few steps away. He did not touch the bars. He did not shout. "I am here to take you with me," he said. His words were simple. No threat. No order. The alien woman studied him. She could smell fear on most beings. On him, she sensed something else. Caution, yes. But also resolve. The guards unlocked the cage. The door slid open with a heavy sound. She did not move. One guard snapped, "Get out." The human lifted a hand. "Wait." The guard frowned but stopped. The human looked at her again. "You can walk out on your own," he said. The alien woman laughed, a short, harsh sound. "Choice?" she asked through the translator. "You buy me, then speak of choice?" "Yes," he said. Because I do not want a weapon that follows orders out of pain. The hall went quiet again. Slowly, carefully, she stepped forward. Her feet touched the floor outside the cage. Nothing shocked her. No pain followed. The guards backed away. She stood beside the human, towering over him. "If I kill you," she said, "they will cheer." "I know," he replied. "Why do this?" "Because leaving you here felt wrong," he said. No one had ever said that to her. They walked together toward the exit. Whispers followed them like shadows. As the doors closed behind them, the auction hall returned to its business. But something had shifted. For the first time in a long while, the alien woman felt uncertainty that did not taste like despair. And somewhere deep inside, something dangerous began to wake. The human led the alien woman away from the auction hall, through twisting corridors and into a small docking area. Ships sat like sleeping beasts, their metal hulls gleaming under pale lights. A smell of fuel and oil filled the air, mixed with the faint scent of recycled air and metal. The alien woman watched him carefully. Her muscles tensed and relaxed in constant readiness. Every step she took was measured. Every shadow seemed dangerous. She expected chains, threats, orders. The human opened the door to a small ship. It was not fancy. No guards. No heavy locks. Just metal walls and a narrow corridor. He stepped aside and gestured. "You may enter," he said. She stepped in slowly. The floor was cold. Her feet echoed. Her hand brushed a wall, and she felt a tremor of alertness, ready for attack. But no one came. The human guided her to a seat near the center of the ship. He moved with calm confidence, like he expected nothing would attack them in the next moment. "You are not going to tie me," she said, her voice low and harsh. "No," he said. "I do not want a weapon that obeys out of fear." The alien woman studied him. He did not look like a fighter. He did not look like a commander. Yet there was something in his eyes that made her pause. Something steady, like stone underwater. The ship engines hummed as they lifted off the docking station. She felt the movement but said nothing. She had flown before, taken by humans or aliens alike. Flight did not interest her. Survival did. "Why me?" she asked finally. Her voice was cautious. "Because no one else would," he said simply. "Because I wanted to give you a choice." Her eyes narrowed. Choice was dangerous. Choice could mean betrayal, pain, or death. Yet there was a strange pull in his words. Something she had not felt in a long time. The human brought out small trays of food, simple, hot meals. He did not insist she eat. He just offered. She sniffed the food, confused. It was not poisoned. It was not bait. It was just food. "Humans eat together," he said, noticing her suspicion. "You may eat if you wish. No one forces you." She sat, slowly, watching him carefully. She took a small piece of the food and bit. The warmth spread in her mouth. It was not remarkable, but it was not a trap either. For the first time in years, she felt something close to calm, not trust. Not yet, but calm. Hours passed. The ship traveled silently through empty space. She watched the stars move outside the narrow windows. He sat quietly, monitoring instruments, adjusting controls. He did not talk unless necessary. No one had ever treated her like this. Then alarms blared. Pirates. Small, fast ships attacking from several directions. They assumed the cargo was valuable. Perhaps a weapon. Perhaps an easy prize. They had not expected resistance. The alien woman stood, ready. Her muscles coiled. She had fought before humans were born, and she would fight again. But this time, something was different. The human stepped back from the controls. "Do as you wish," he said calmly. "Do not hold back." She looked at him, confusion flashing in her eyes. Most humans would have screamed, hidden, or begged. This one simply offered her freedom to fight. The first pirate ship fired. Lasers slashed the hull. The human ducked, and the alien woman moved. She leaped, faster than the eyes could follow, and struck. One pirate ship's engines exploded. Another collapsed under her blows. She moved like a shadow, precise and deadly. The human guided the ship through the chaos. He did not interfere with her fighting. He did not command. He watched, adjusting trajectory to help, not to control. By the time the battle ended, the pirate ships were retreating. The alien woman stood panting. She looked at the human. "You did not fight," she said. Her voice was low, almost surprised. "I did what I could to keep you safe," he said. "That is all." She studied him. Slowly, a sense of understanding began to form. he did not demand. He did not fear her. He treated her like a person, not a weapon, not a prize. Hours passed again. The adrenaline faded. She ate more food, still watching him carefully. He spoke quietly about places they could go, people they might meet, dangers they might face. He did not lie, did not sugarcoat, did not order her to do anything. By the time the ship entered a quiet sector, she realized something she had not felt for a long time. Respect. Not for him as an owner. Not for chains or weapons. Respect for the human who had given her choice and survived. "Why do you trust me?" she asked finally, almost whispering. "I do not fully," he said. "But I trust that you will not harm me without reason, and I trust that you will understand if I try to help you. That is all the trust I need." She sat back. No chains. No threats. No weapons aimed at her. Just the hum of the ship and a human who had chosen to see her as something other than a tool. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. Inside, an uneasy alliance formed. One that might grow into something stronger. Or it might end in fire. Only time would tell. For the first time, she allowed herself to imagine a path that did not end in pain. A path where she could fight, survive, and maybe even live on her own terms. The human watched her from across the cabin. No words. No orders. Just observation. He understood something most others had not. Freedom could be more dangerous than chains, but it was also stronger. The alien woman looked at him again, and for the first time in many cycles, she wondered if perhaps some humans were worth more than gold, more than weapons, more than fear. Outside, stars blinked. The ship continued its quiet journey. Inside, two beings, once owner and prize, now walked together in cautious understanding. The galaxy beyond remained dangerous, but for the first time, there was hope. And somewhere deep inside both, the thought grew, perhaps together they could survive anything. The small ship moved through empty space, silent and steady. The alien woman leaned against a wall, her arms crossed, eyes scanning every control panel and narrow corridor. She had fought in war zones and survived ambushes, but this quiet, calm journey was strange. It made her nervous. The human sat near the control console, his hands moving over buttons and levers, adjusting speed and trajectory. He did not speak much, only enough to report nearby traffic or dangers. His calm tone seemed strange to her. Most humans shouted when afraid or demanded submission from her. She watched him. His movements were careful, deliberate, like he expected problems but did not fear them. She had never met someone like this. Most humans either ignored her or tried to control her. This one treated her as if she were an equal in some ways, though she remained cautious. Hours passed. The alien woman began to notice small things. He did not hide the ship's vulnerabilities. He did not demand obedience. He offered food and water and allowed her to choose when and how she ate. He even offered her a small sleeping area separate from his own, though the space was tiny and simple. She accepted it reluctantly, resting for the first time in many cycles. She slept lightly, one eye open, ready for danger, yet feeling something she had not felt for a long time. Safety. Then the alarms blared. Red lights flashed, and the ship shook. Sensors picked up multiple small craft rapidly approaching. They were pirates, faster and smaller than normal, armed with energy weapons and grappling tools. They assumed the ship carried a valuable captive or cargo. The alien woman sprang to her feet. Her muscles coiled, ready for battle. She expected orders, commands, or control. But the human said nothing threatening. He simply stepped aside. "Do as you wish," he said calmly. "Do not hold back." She blinked, surprised. This was different from any battle she had fought. Most humans screamed and hid, then tried to take credit afterward. This one offered her freedom to fight. The first pirate ship fired. Lasers streaked the metal walls, causing sparks to fall. The human ducked and manipulated the controls to maneuver. He did not aim weapons at the attackers. He relied on her. The alien woman moved. She leapt, dodging beams and striking with deadly force. Her punches and kicks shattered engines and weapons. She moved faster than the human's eyes could follow. Pirate after pirate fell, surprised by her speed and strength. The human guided the ship through debris and energy blasts. He adjusted trajectory to help, but he never interfered with her fighting. He trusted her to do what she did best. By the end of the battle, the pirates retreated, their ship smoking and damaged. The alien woman stood, panting, and looked at the human. "You did not fight," she said, confusion in her voice. "I did what I could to keep us alive," he said simply. "That is all." She studied him. No fear, no lies, no fake bravado. Just calm, competence, and trust. Slowly, a sense of respect began to form in her mind. Respect, not obedience. She had never felt this before. Hours passed after the battle. The ship moved through empty sectors. The alien woman ate the food he offered, still wary but more curious than afraid. He spoke quietly about potential destinations, dangers, and possible allies. He did not demand answers. He did not force loyalty. He treated her as a person, not a weapon. She listened, her mind opening in small ways. She had survived countless battles and betrayals, yet this human inspired something unfamiliar, not trustfully, but a cautious understanding. Perhaps this human was different. Night cycles passed aboard the ship. She slept lightly, still alert but not in constant fear. The human monitored the ship but did not force interaction. He allowed her space, giving her time to observe and understand him. Finally, curiosity overcame caution. She asked, "Why do you do this? Why not leave me to the others?" "Because leaving you behind felt wrong," he said. "Because I believe everyone deserves a choice." She frowned. Few beings in the galaxy cared about choice. Most sought power, money, or survival at the cost of others. This human was different. He acted from principle, not fear or greed. The alien woman realized something. She had been seen as a dangerous weapon, feared by all, sold as property, and treated with pain and chains. Yet here she was, standing free, offered her own decisions, and fighting alongside someone who did not command her out of fear. Something shifted inside her. Not trust yet, but a recognition that humans could be more than they appeared. They could act with reason, even against danger. They could inspire, even when they seemed weak. The human spoke quietly as he adjusted the course. "We are not safe yet. More danger will come, but together we may survive it." The alien woman watched the stars streak past the narrow windows. She had fought in war zones, survived ambushes, and escaped countless traps. But this journey was different. It tested patience, understanding, and judgment, not only strength. She realized slowly that the human had given her something she had not felt in cycles. Hope. Hope that she could fight, survive, and live on her own terms without being a prize or a weapon. The human looked at her from across the cabin. No orders. No chains. Just observation. Calm and patient. He understood that freedom could be more dangerous than obedience, but also more powerful. The alien woman, for the first time, allowed herself to imagine a path that did not end in pain or chains. A path where she could survive, fight, and perhaps trust another being. And as the ship continued its quiet journey through the stars, two unlikely companions walked side by side in cautious understanding. One human, one alien, both learning that survival meant more than strength. It meant choice, trust, and respect. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. Inside, hope grew quietly. A fragile bond forming that might withstand the dangers of the galaxy, or shatter in fire. Only time would reveal the truth. The news spread faster than the wind through the trading routes of the galaxy. A human had claimed ownership of a feared alien warrior without chains or threats. Word reached every planet, every station, every ship that dealt in rare beings or dangerous fighters. Some scoffed, some whispered nervously. Many feared what they did not understand. The alien woman watched the news broadcasts with quiet interest. Each image showed her fighting in the past. Each report described her strength and danger. Yet the focus was not only on her, it was also on the human who had raised his hand and claimed her. The human who did not command by fear but by choice. "You are being watched," he said quietly, his eyes scanning the ship's instruments. "Many systems see us as a threat. Many want you back or destroyed." She narrowed her eyes. "They fear me. That is natural." "No," he said. "They fear what we represent. A human who does not follow their rules. A warrior who is free." Her lips pressed together. She had never considered that humans could inspire fear in others simply by being different. Yet he was right. The galaxy's rules were harsh. Most beings bowed to power, chains, or terror. Defiance invited violence. Suddenly, a communication alert blinked. A holographic figure appeared. It was a representative from a powerful faction known for controlling slave markets and trade. The figure's armor gleamed. Its eyes were cold. "We demand the immediate return of the alien," the figure said. "You have no right to own or transport her. Submit or face consequences." The human studied the hologram calmly. "She is not property," he said. "You cannot demand her obedience." The alien woman laughed quietly, harsh and sharp. "You see, I am more valuable than they expected. They will try to buy me, or destroy me, or both. Yes, he said, but I do not intend to hand you over. If they attack, we will defend ourselves. Together. The alien woman regarded him, measuring his courage. Most humans would have backed down. Most would have begged for their lives. This one stood firm, calm, resolute. She felt the stir of respect. Not fear, not loyalty. Respect. Weeks passed. They traveled between stars, avoiding patrols and pirates. The alien woman learned the humans' methods. Not orders, but strategies. Not commands, but planning. He taught her how to scan for danger, how to find allies, and how to strike when the enemy least expected. Then an opportunity arose. A supply station on a remote planet was under guard by the faction that had demanded her return. Valuable supplies, weapons, records, captives. The human proposed a daring raid. "You do not order me?" she asked, suspicion in her tone. "I ask," he said. "You choose." The alien woman studied him, then nodded. For the first time in cycles, she felt excitement for a mission she had not been forced into. She would fight, but on her terms. The night of the raid arrived. Shadows fell across the supply station. Small ships approached quietly. The human piloted their ship into position. The alien woman prepared herself, muscles coiled, senses sharp. Guards patrolled the perimeter. Security systems blinked and scanned. She moved silently, faster than any human could see. He followed, providing cover and guidance without forcing her hand. They reached the control room. She struck the guards down, precise and deadly. The human hacked the systems, opening doors and disabling alarms. No one ordered the other. They acted as a team, instinctive and synchronized. By dawn, the station was under their control. Supplies secured, captives freed. Messages sent across the galaxy revealing the faction's illegal activities. The alien woman stood beside the human, not chained, not ordered, but victorious. "They will come for us," she said. Her voice was calm, almost thoughtful. "I know," he said. "And we will be ready. Together." Word of the raid spread. Traitors whispered. Slavers feared. Systems began to reconsider their allegiance. Humans were no longer weak prey to be ignored. They could be dangerous, smart, determined, capable of inspiring loyalty and fear at the same time. The alien woman looked out at the stars. Once she had believed that freedom was a dream. Now she understood that with the right ally, freedom could be reality, and humans, fragile and underestimated, could be the most dangerous creatures in the galaxy when they chose to act. The human watched her, knowing she understood. They did not speak more. Words were unnecessary. The bond between them was clear. Not chains, not commands. Mutual understanding, respect, and readiness for whatever the galaxy would send next. The stars stretched endlessly. The human and the alien warrior had changed the rules. The galaxy had noticed, and now no one could ignore the rising power of humans who acted with courage and conviction. The alien woman stared out of the ship's window at the distant stars, thinking about her past. Memories she had buried resurfaced like echoes of pain. She remembered her people, a proud tribe that had refused to bow to slave traders. They had fought, resisted, and were destroyed. She had survived when others had fallen. The galaxy called her savage, but it was not born in her. It was made. The human noticed her silence and spoke softly. "You do not need to carry it alone anymore." She turned, eyes sharp and wary. "Why do you care?" "Because freedom matters," he said. "Because no one should be forced to fight for another." Humans were fragile in appearance, yet this one carried strength beyond muscle. Strength in mind, courage, and morality. He had offered her choice and survived. He had fought beside her without demanding her obedience. And now he spoke of justice, of ending slavery. The alien woman realized something. They could strike at the very heart of the slavers who had ruined her life. Not with massive fleets, but with strategy, surprise, and alliances. They could inspire others who had been oppressed to fight back. They could change the galaxy or die trying. They began to plan. The human suggested small attacks on supply lines, intercepting shipments of enslaved beings and weapons. The alien woman tested each plan with precision, learning his methods. She was no longer a tool. She was a partner. Together, they found weaknesses in the systems that had once controlled her. Word of their actions spread. Former slaves began to revolt. Minor factions joined them. Ships that had been idle, waiting for safety, now took to the stars, inspired by humans who acted with courage and conviction. The alien woman led the charge, her presence alone turning despair into hope. One day, a fleet appeared in the distance. The powerful faction that had demanded her return had gathered their ships. They sought to destroy the human and reclaim the alien woman. They outnumbered them heavily, their weapons advanced and deadly. The human looked at her. "We are surrounded, but not defeated. We fight smart, not just hard." She nodded. "I have not survived by fear. I have survived by choice. We will survive this." Battle began. Ships darted between stars, exchanging fire. Smaller vessels attacked from unexpected directions. The alien woman boarded enemy ships, striking with precision and fury. The human guided their forces, predicting enemy movements and creating opportunities. The tide turned. Many who had once feared humans now joined them. Liberated beings fought alongside the human and the alien warrior. The power of unity, courage, and strategy overcame brute strength and fear. Amid the chaos, the alien woman faced the enemy commander, the one who had demanded her return. They clashed with a storm of strength and skill. She moved not as a weapon, but as a being who had chosen her path, fighting for freedom and justice. The commander fell, defeated, and the remaining fleet retreated. Victory did not feel like triumph. It felt like responsibility. They had changed something fundamental. The galaxy had learned that humans could not be underestimated, that choice and courage could overcome fear and control. The alien woman stood beside the human, watching the stars. They were no longer alone. Allies would join them, systems would question old orders, and the galaxy would remember that power could come from unexpected places. She spoke quietly. "I was called savage. I was feared. I was sold. But now I am free. Not because someone commanded me, but because someone believed I could choose." The human nodded. "And together, we will help others find the same freedom." The stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to their journey. The galaxy would not forget this lesson. Freedom, courage, and humanity could rise even in the darkest places, and those who dared to act differently could inspire change far greater than strength alone. The final battle approached the home system of the auction houses, the place where the alien woman had once been sold and feared. The human and the alien warrior led a small fleet, mostly former slaves, free beings, and those who had seen the injustice of the slavers. They were outnumbered heavily, but they had something the enemy did not expect: unity, courage, and a sense of justice. The alien woman stood on the deck of the lead ship, watching the stars. She had faced countless dangers, but this felt different. This was not survival for herself alone. This was survival for many, for freedom, for choice. The human approached her. "Are you ready?" he asked quietly. She nodded, eyes cold and steady. "I am ready. Let them come." The enemy fleet appeared as a dark wave against the starlight. Massive ships bristled with weapons, engines glowing. They expected an easy victory. They expected humans to flee or beg and the alien warrior to be chained and ordered. They were wrong. The human maneuvered the fleet with precision. Small ships darted between larger vessels, creating openings. The alien woman boarded enemy ships, dismantling defenses, liberating prisoners, and disabling weapons. Her movements were sharp, precise, unstoppable. Everywhere she went, hope rose. Captives joined the fight, former slaves fought back. Systems that had hidden now sent ships to support them. Fear turned to courage. Weakness turned to strength. Unity became a weapon stronger than any cannon. The enemy commanders realized too late that their power depended on fear and submission. Without chains and terror, their numbers meant nothing. The human and the alien warrior moved like shadows, striking where least expected, dismantling fleets piece by piece. In the command hub of the main enemy ship, the alien woman faced the head of the auction system. The being sneered, confident. "You are nothing without chains," it said. "I am more than chains," she said, voice low and steady. "I am free." She struck with speed and force. The commander fell. The remaining ships hesitated, confused, and disordered. The rest of the fleet collapsed under the coordinated attacks. Their control broken, their will shattered, the human watched the battle unfold, guiding his fleet with calm precision. He did not dominate the alien warrior. He complemented her. Together they moved as equals, their strategy a combination of human intellect and alien strength. When the battle ended, the auction houses were destroyed. Slave records were broadcast across the galaxy, showing the crimes committed. Systems that had profited from fear and control shut down their markets. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated, and freedom was a force stronger than chains. The alien woman stood on the bridge looking at the stars. For the first time she felt truly free, not as a prize, not as a weapon, but as herself. Her scars were hers, her strength was hers, and her choice was hers. The human approached, silent but steady. "You have changed the galaxy," he said. She nodded. "And so have you. Humans may seem weak, but they have courage. They have choice. They can inspire hope." Together, they looked out into space. No chains, no fear, no commands. Just freedom. The galaxy would never see humans the same way again. No one would ever try to sell one as a weak prize. No one would ignore them. The lesson had been learned through courage, unity, and the refusal to obey through fear. And so, the human and the alien warrior continued their journey. The stars stretched endlessly, full of danger, opportunity, and new stories waiting to be written. But for the first time, they faced them as equals, free and unbroken, a symbol of hope that would echo across the galaxy forever.